Well, I know you do a lot of mentoring with folks on songwriting, and you wrote a very nice article for our blog that got a lot of attention, both from your fans and from the artist community as well. And it was some people loved it, thought it was like a breath of fresh air. Other people thought it was depressing, but kind of like didn't have this like heartwarming ending to it. But I found it very, very inspiring because I think when you deal with the realities of being an artist and not only, maybe when I was 20, I would have thought differently, but I'm much older now, and the idea of that it's just something that's a part of you that's never going away, and kind of looking at it felt more like you're looking at it from that perspective. But I had a couple quotes here from it. I wanted to talk about that. One of them was you said the object of art is not to make saleable products. It's to save oneself and to be part of saving us all. Either we tell our story or our story tells us. I think the one thing that was interesting to me within a lot of the tone of what you're writing about is more of like writing music from an authentic place. And I think a lot of times now with the access artists have, it's easy to make something in Pro Tools. It's super easy to get it out to the world and try to sell it. That sometimes those things get flipped on their head.
They do, and we end up with songs that are so boring. So boring. And here's the thing. This was written in the spirit of Rilke. I was asked to write a letter in the spirit of the Rilke letters to the young poet.
Mm-hmm.
That gives it a context.
Mm-hmm.
Rilke's letters to a young poet were written in the 1800s, and they're profoundly beautiful. And he mentored this young poet, Rilke, the great Austrian poet, mentored this young poet and taught him what he knew through letters about the life of an artist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, right there is a qualifier, the life of an artist. Not everyone's an artist.
Mm-hmm.
We use that word loosely. I think we need to make a distinction between entertainers and artists. One is not better than the other, but they're different.
Yeah.
And people who are in the purely entertainment business, looking to sell as many records as they can through the radio and entertain people, this is not a letter for them.
Mm-hmm.
This is not going to address their needs or their interests. And I wasn't directing it to them. And they didn't like it, and I didn't expect them to.
And those are probably a lot of the folks that didn't understand where you were coming from, or maybe had a negative reaction as far as like maybe not understanding why you were saying. I mean, for some folks, they struggle with that idea. Like, what? I'm going to make art and it's not their music and the point isn't to sell it. I think some people just struggle with that idea, and maybe they're more in the entertainment business.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this is a higher thing. I'm saying it's a different thing. And in my worldview, the reason we create art is because people need art in order to know they're not alone.
Yeah.
And artists make sense out of chaos and point to their work as a explanation of something that's generally hard to express.
Yeah.
And if we could say it directly, we wouldn't need art. So in my experience, most artists are in the business of soul saving of themselves or other people. And it's a spiritual thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a commercial thing, although there are commercial artists. And of course, pop music can do the same thing. I'm not saying it can't, but we've got a lot of distinctions to make here. And I love how much the haters came out.